How many of you know exactly where your food comes from? I grew up on a beef cattle farm and an egg-laying chicken farm. And today I'm going to educate you on the reasons why you should support local farmers and also tell you how you can do so. According to Nativia, the main reasons why you should support local farmers include locally grown food tastes better. Locally grown food helps build communities, and locally grown food is good for the environment. I'm also going to tell you how you can support local farmers and do those three things. And all of us can support local farmers and help make educated decisions as a result. Locally grown food tastes better. So the main reason why locally grown food tastes better is because it takes less time for the food to go from the farmer to your plate in a locally grown setting. Think about if you go and buy your eggs at Walmart. The eggs are normally a week or two old by the time they get there. And then let's just say they sit there for another week, at most times about a week, sometimes 2 weeks. So those eggs are already a month old, and there's nothing wrong with eating a month-old eggs. They're still perfectly fine, they're in refrigeration, they're still going to stay good, still going to be good eggs for you to eat with. But when you buy from a local farmer, such as myself, as a result, you can get farm fresh eggs, and these were laid in the last week. Those eggs are 3 days old. A lot more fresh. I'm actually going to take a couple of those eggs up to my neighbor after I get done with the speech. And that's the main thing. It's just the freshness and the transport time, and just with all varieties of commodities, not just eggs. Locally grown food helps build communities. So supporting small businesses. It's the same thing that we hear this right now with the whole COVID-19 pandemic about supporting local businesses, because Walmart, Walgreens, all your big chain grocery stores, they're all going to stay open, they're going to make it. But your local mom and pop grocery store down the town might not. And according to Local Harvest, this is a thing to be doing not just during a global pandemic, but all the time, supporting your small businesses because they can help stay open. And nothing against large companies either, but just think about that local scholarship that small business gives out every year. If it's $500, people are like, it's only $500. It's not a big $2,000 when you get from like a big company, but it's still a thought that counts, and supporting local businesses is always a good thing to do. Locally grown food is good for the environment. So this just comes down to small farm practices. And according to local hens, small town practices can be a lot better for the environment as opposed to large factory farms. So I'm just going to use beef and poultry as an example, just because that's what I'm most familiar with. But for beef cattle, rotational grazing, having cattle out on pasture, where they're having more of a natural diet, or opposed to like large feedlots that are just in barns, and those calves never see grass after they're weaned. Free-range chickens. A lot of your chickens are in laying houses. Nothing against those, but like my hens that go outside, they free range every day. They eat bugs, they peck in the grass, they get rocks, they get worms. Just more of a natural thing, and it's just as a result, the manure from cattle and chickens that fertilizes the ground. It helps the grass grow. The chickens eat the grass. It's kind of a continuous cycle, just like nature is kind of meant to do. People always think that cattle are really bad for the environment, but they don't say anything about when America had thousands and thousands of buffaloes roaming the prairies, eating the grass, fertilizing with their manure, and the cycle of nutrients goes like that. Same thing with cattle. I mean, obviously, that's where farmers try to practice good environmental practices to help keep erosion down, and with crops and with feeding and with the manure and stuff. So supporting local farmers. So how can we support local farmers, you may ask? So you can go to farmers markets, and you can buy fresh produce, vegetables. You can buy fresh eggs. You can go buy seeds. You can buy anything you want at a farmer's market. And a lot of times you make connections with those farmers and have a bond there. And then local producers. So according to the Happy Hive Homestead, another way to support local farmers is you can just go straight to the farmer. So something I saw on Facebook actually, it was a post that said, people complain about high price of hamburger, and go into the stores and everything, and all because of the coronavirus and everything. But then this post said, well, here's a solution to that. You and your couple buddies, your neighbors, go to a local farmer, pick out a steer or a fat heifer, and take it to the local butcher and get it butchered. Do the same thing with hogs. Do whatever species you want there. Or go buy locally butchered chickens or locally butchered turkeys or locally butchered ducks from a small town poultry producer. And then you can just go and get a package of hamburger like this. That most times be a little bit cheaper than your $5 hamburger they buy at Aldi's or Fairway or Walmart. So today I educated you on the reasons why you should support local farmers and also told you how you can do so. And the main reasons why you should support local farmers is so you can locally grown food tastes better, locally grown food helps build communities, and locally grown food is good for the environment. And you can do this by shopping at farmers markets as well as going straight to the producer themselves. How many of you think that you will buy products or produce from a local farmer in the future? It's good to see there is an audience here. I hope that you all feel more educated about how you can support local farmers. I hope that you can help make educated decisions based on what you learned here today.